My family have held our vigil over these majestic swathes of countryside for generations. My roots are deep here, and the success and survival of Cuatro Colinas Game Reserve is my primary responsibility. And now, my old friend, we are reunited. It's been a long time since we last worked together, but I know you're going to be essential to my plans for the future. I trust that you slept well last night and you're ready for your Castilian adventure. After all these years of promising to show you Cuatro Colinas, your first day on the reserve has arrived. It means a great deal to me that you made this journey. I have every confidence that you're going to love hunting here. The first thing I would like you to do is to experience the sublime Bosque Vista, not far from where you're standing just now. From atop the vista, one has a splendid perspective of the reserve. This view includes one of our magnificent outposts, which I recommend you visit when you get the chance. I know a rugged outdoor explorer like you doesn't need to spend the night in the luxury of a castillo, but you do have all of our visitors' outposts at your disposal. My mother and father had all of these lodges built over the last 35 years. The lodge you are looking for is called Casa Alfonso. To modernize the reserve, we have recently updated the interiors of all of our lodges. We kept the original stone cladding, though. The contrast in styles is pure magic.
Hello. I'm PaintedDog and welcome back to another episode of theHunter Call of the Wild. Now, as you can see on the screen, there's been some changes. I'm playing around with hiding the HUD, the heads-up display, but we'll take a look at that right now. And as you just saw, it's our first time in Cuatro Colinas. So yeah, let's pull up the map and let's have a quick peek at where we need to go. Okay, we have to run to that lookout point, and we'll probably be able to see that will probably be an outpost. So let's head in that direction. I'm just going to run till we get there. But yeah, it's my first time actually playing on Cuatro Colinas ever, because I liked playing in one reserve and trying to do all the missions, but yeah, it got a bit boring. So I went ahead and I did play on Hirschenfelden because you start there, on Leighton Lake and Waronga, and I also went to Te Awaroa. You sound menacing, but I'm going to ignore you for now. Let's just get to the top of this lookout post so we can see what our surroundings are like. I like I believe it's lavender fields to our left. That's actually quite lovely. But let's get to the top of this and let's have a quick peek. Now, there's a reason I started a new reserve, and specifically this reserve.
Te doy la bienvenida a Cuatro Colinas, my friend. I hope you like the view.
I don't think I'll be able to spot it there, but so let's get up this lookout point and see what we can see from up here. Ruger will probably stay, yeah, as always. The dogs don't go into the lookout points, but that's okay. But let's quickly go and claim this spot. Or in survey.
Standing here, you are following in the footsteps of Spanish dukes and kings, as well as every generation of my family for the past 3 centuries. You should be able to see Casa Alfonso from there.
Yes, I do.
When you have sampled enough of the view, take the walk down to the outpost.
let's have a quick peek if we can spot the road here in the sunflower fields. But it's going to be quite difficult, I believe. But that's for next area we need to go to. Casa Alfonso. So we might be tempted to basically quickly walk there. I won't let you sit through all that, but yeah, it might be an idea to walk there and get everything done. Just like to have a look around. There's lavender field, sunflower, and more lavender on this side. And then wild bush or countryside on this side, which is quite lovely. Do we go for this? Let's pull up the map and just mark it for now. So we can go and collect our trophy. So if you don't know this, this was going to be... I chose this, as I was saying before I was interrupted. I chose a map, a new map, and specifically this one because it looks quite lovely. And I recently surpassed 243 subscribers on YouTube. So it would be nice to take on a reserve with only a 243. I'm going to add in a shotgun probably as well, and a 22 just for a smaller game, but the max class on here is a red deer at class 6, and with 243 is capable of taking on a red deer. It's still within the realms of being a valid rifle or firearm for this, for that, but yeah, so that's the reason. So this is basically a 243 challenge. Since we surpassed 243 subscribers last week, I believe. So that was just amazing. Thank you to everyone. I didn't think I would get close to this. As I previously said, I started recording to help with my, not anxiety, but I'm an introverted person. And with my job in academics and now what I'm doing right now, it was a bit difficult to talk in front of a lot of people. So this helped me with that. So yeah. Uh, 57, that's not too bad. I believe for a diamond or a gold it's a 64 or something like that, and diamond it's 80 or something like that. So 57 silver is not too shabby. You do get some cash, so that's not too bad. But yes, we need to go to that area to complete the, or to continue with one of the missions, first missions. So that would be quite lovely. But I'm going to travel there, get the outpost, and then we will change up our loadout. So we are ready for this. But I won't let you sit through everything. Let's time lapse this. Here we are approaching, don't know what phantom trees are showing there. But I don't know if you spotted that in the time lapse, but we hunted 2 more roe deer. And maybe we'll go for a third right there. So let's quickly go and claim that one. Oh, just a rock. But let's quickly go and claim this one. I'm not going to let an opportunity to hunt or get another 600 cash and some experience just go by like that. That's why we always try and attempt those shots, or think about taking those shots. But if it's like that, then we'll definitely try and take that. You see, that's a bit now getting a bit out of hand. Because we are moving away from that again. But let's walk. Maybe we'll see a male in that area. So we can always try and take that. Because I'm not looking for any trophy animals at this stage, but if the opportunity comes along, they don't look a gift horse in the mouth. No vital organ hit, yeah, I know. But I do get 550 cash, which isn't too bad. Now there's an animal calling from that direction. And there's a female right there. Sorry, let me just praise you a bit. You know what? As I said, not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Nah, let her flee. Let's head on over to our trophy of the outpost and see if we can claim that, so we can get a foothold on this map. I actually do want to go and get this outpost as well, but there's a couple of points of interest and another outpost there and an outpost there, so I might just want to work my way around. But let's head on up here and see what the mission holds. I still don't know why there's phantom trees like that. This looks like grapes.
I hope you didn't forget the lodge key in the castillo. Excellent. Casa Alfonso is back in business. As with any other lodge, there are some parts of Cuatro Colinas that only a select few know about. I'm taking you to a place where the views are magnificent and the hunting is even better. There, I've sent you the coordinates for the trailhead that leads to this divine setting. Normally, I would insist on being there with you while you experience it, but I don't want you to miss it. I encourage you to hunt as much as you'd like. You are undoubtedly keen to become familiar with the rolling hills, steep ascents, and your wily prey. You should search for animal tracks. I know you have experience, but one should utilize every advantage when taking on the cunning beasts of Cuatro Colinas. Of course, if you're lucky, you'll probably hear something just from walking through that part of the reserve. The hunter I knew didn't rely on luck, though. I recall that you used to have wonderful hearing. Is that still true? Or have your years gotten the better of you? You have ears like a bat. Are you going to pursue?
If we can see this wild boar, I will try and take it down. But I don't really want to go all prone and try and stalk it, because I want to get to that place of interest. Thing that I actually wish was in game was like chalk powder in the Hunter Classic, or I believe it's Hunter Classic. At the chalk powder, so you know which direction the wind was blowing. But now, if you see those white floating particles, you can use that as an indicator of a wind direction. So that's not too bad, you can always use that. But then you just have to keep your eyes out for these white particles floating around. And if there's a way to see on what distances your rifles are zeroed, because at this stage I have to keep track of that in my head. Because to write that down all the time is useless. But if there was a HUD that you can optimize for whatever use you want to use it for. For instance, I would like to have zeroing distances. Only with zeroing, that would be fine. I quickly zero to 75 meters and then I put it back up to 175 or 150, sorry, just so we can get that wild boar without having to hold off or hold over. So let's quickly go and grab this wild boar. Light brown male, a gold, not too shabby. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's a 95 or 98 or something like that for a gold. So it's quite a distance away from a diamond, but at least it's another 1,100 cash, so that's not too shabby. So let's head on over to this point of interest for our mission. Let's see. What was that? So for the 243 challenge, I'm thinking of doing missions for that. That might come around to bite me on the backside, because some of the missions are really, really time consuming. But I think that would be the way to do this.
This is the start of the trail that leads to my own little patch of heaven on earth. You're nearly there.
I like how she says you are nearly there, and then she takes you on a meander through the it's a wild boar. Okay. I'm going to ignore that wild boar and just head off in this direction, so we can get to that area. Because I don't like doing a lot of cuts in the videos. Not because I'm lazy, I like editing, but I think it removes some of the immersion. That's why I like playing with the HUD off as well. Now this helps me quite a lot. I actually love it like this. It has its disadvantages, but hey, everything has. Let's keep quiet and hear what
you have arrived. Is it not stunning? Recently, I've only come here to meditate. It is so ethereal and serene, even when the rain is falling. When I first invited you to visit, I assumed that I would be coming home to host you as a visitor, spending time here before traveling abroad once again. With my return being prompted by my mother's passing instead, my focus has been entirely on work, instead of enjoying the very places that bring me comfort. I am pleased that I was able to show you this. In a way, I got to experience it vicariously. Of course, it's also one of our best spots to go hunting. I've never gone on a hunt out there and returned home empty-handed. If you are able to pull yourself away from the tranquil beauty of the cove, there are many other wonderful sights for you to see.
Okay, so now Secret hunting spot. But if you take a look at the map, it doesn't show you anything. There's no pop-ups. So let's rather go to this alcove and see what's down there. Why did I just put a marker? That's another thing. I try to use markers more sparingly. Not that you lose it or anything, or use it up, but I don't like seeing all those markers on the screen. Let me just see. Oh, find animal tracks. Okay. Should probably use my hunter mate a bit more. That would help quite a lot. Where's the animal tracks? I thought that was an animal track right there, but it's not. But let's go to the water's edge. I don't know a lot, but I know a lot of animals need water. Actually, all animals on Earth at this stage need some sort of moisture. Let's quickly see. Oh no, there might be someone in the comments now, angrily typing away, but that's fine. You always see a lot of tracks everywhere. But now that you are looking for something, we won't find it. That's usually how it works. Let's quickly have a peek up on the road. Let's follow this for a while. But as I said, and I interrupt myself and get interrupted by the recordings, or the messages, but I'm gonna try and do all my hunting with a 243, except for really small ones. It doesn't make sense to go ahead and use a 243 on a rabbit. But you can definitely. But that's why I want to use a 22 for stuff like that. Now this is getting ridiculous. All this area and you don't find any tracks. Now the question is, will a European hare count as any of those tracks count? Any of those signs count as an animal track? Okay, there we have it. Tracks and a feeding zone. Probably for a European hare, but let's see.
I see your tracking skills are as sharp as ever. I'm sure you're going to enjoy your hunts here. Senor Baden, our company for last night, appears to be enjoying his time here as well. He's a unique fellow, but quite charming in his own way. When I mentioned that I had hired you as a professional hunter, he seemed a little bothered. He then proceeded to inform me of some hunting accolades that he has received during his career as a hunter. Until recently, I'd put his candor down to the sangria, but he seems equally enthusiastic in his self-promotion, even with a clear head. Apparently, he has harvested a pair of ibex already. I think someone is trying to market themselves as a worthy competitor. I think it's time for you to remind me what you can do. I'd like for you to harvest an animal. any animal. Once you're done, let me know, and I'll inform Senor Baden that he has a little competition. When I first returned to help run the reserve after my time away, these were the places I wanted to be. Places that reminded me of my mother. Just a short way down the cove, there is another splendid view. I recommend it.
Okay. So we completed my favorite place. But, yeah, I think let's quickly go and see if we can spot that road. I believe there was a road there that called out to us, or a warning call. Let's see if we can spot that, and might just be tempted to go to the next. Okay, no, that was nothing. To go to the next mission objective, but yeah. Rhodium mating call. Let's attempt to get that. He'll probably calm down. But now he's out of view. Let's get out between these trees. Okay. This one is bigger. Not the best shots, but I at least got one. So let's go ahead and track that guy, and then we can call it an episode. And here we have that rodeo. So let's quickly praise our dog and pet him. And play. And let's confirm our trophy.
You're going to need to do enough hunting for both of us, it would seem. The administrative part of my role is something I am still getting used to. Sadly, it prevents me from spending any time on the reserve with you, or getting to know my neighbors. Cuatro Colinas is mostly composed of my family's estate, but includes several tracts of public land with public roads. Because I'm overseeing the reserve, I need to work with the local government to ensure that the public roads are kept safe. There is a stretch of road in particular that is extremely dangerous. It has a steep cliff on one side, and drivers need to slow right down or risk a perilous drop. Until recently, we had road signs warning approaching drivers of the danger. I mention this to you because these signs have suddenly disappeared, as if by magic, and I need you to replace them. I know that this would normally be a hunter's job, but I have asked the mayor to take care of it, and he told me that I have to wait a month for him to send a crew. I'd have my handyman Julio deal with it, but the poor old soul is laid up in bed with pneumonia. I was able to go into town and retrieve some replacements. Unfortunately, I was in a rush and had to attend a meeting, so I wasn't able to put them up.
Okay, so this is the end of this episode. Wow, let's just... Seriously? Did you just see that? let's go and grab that rodeo doe. Hunting pressure is getting a bit higher there in that area, but that's fine. We will be traveling 600 meters to that side in the next episode. Another 600 cash, not too shabby. As you can see, we have 30,800 cash, so we are getting there. But I hope you enjoyed this first episode of our 243 challenge. I don't know how long the series will be or what it will entail, but I hope you'll come along for the ride. But I hope you enjoyed it and hope to see you in the next one. Cheerio.